When you wake up each morning, you are stepping into a brand new chapter of your life. Every sunrise brings with it a fresh beginning, a new opportunity, and a chance to reset. But how you choose to start that day determines the tone for everything that follows. Too many people open their eyes and instantly let negativity flood their minds. They replay the mistakes of yesterday, they think about what went wrong, or they begin worrying about all the things that might go wrong today. They wake up already defeated, and they wonder why they never feel like they are moving forward. If you want to live a life of strength, if you want to become unstoppable, you must train yourself to start every day with the right mindset. That simple but powerful shift can change everything about your future. You see, your thoughts are not just random ideas floating through your head. They are steering your life. Your mind is the steering wheel that determines which direction you're going. If your thoughts are always centered on worry, defeat, and lack, that is exactly where your life will head. But when you wake up and you choose to declare gratitude, to focus on strength, to expect good things, then your life begins to follow that pattern. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending difficulties don't exist. It's about choosing not to let those difficulties control your outlook. Starting your day with the right mindset gives you power over circumstances rather than allowing circumstances to have power over you. There's a reason why the first few moments of your day are so important. Think of your mind like a field. Whatever seed you plant first thing in the morning will grow throughout the day. If you sow seeds of fear, insecurity, and doubt, then your field will produce those emotions all day long. But if you sow seeds of confidence, gratitude, and faith, you will reap strength, joy, and peace as your day unfolds. That's why unstoppable people guard those first moments carefully. They refuse to start with negativity. They refuse to scroll endlessly through bad news or compare themselves to others on social media before they've even spoken one word of encouragement over themselves. They know that the way you start your day is the way you carry your day. Imagine someone who gets up every morning and says, "Today is going to be hard. I'm so tired. Nothing good ever happens for me." Do you think they're setting themselves up for victory? Of course not. They've already talked themselves out of strength before they even brush their teeth. But now imagine someone else who wakes up and says, "Today is a gift. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I'm equipped. I may face challenges, but I'm stronger than what's against me." That person is shaping their mindset for success. It doesn't mean everything will go perfectly for them, but it does mean that when difficulties arise, they'll face them with courage instead of defeat. That's what makes the difference between people who give up and people who rise higher. You have to understand that life will always bring challenges. No one is exempt from trials, but your power lies in your perspective. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can control how you choose to think about it. Starting your day with the right mindset is like putting on armor. It doesn't stop the arrows from being shot, but it protects you from being destroyed by them. When you wake up and declare strength, when you remind yourself of your purpose, when you choose gratitude over grumbling, you build resilience in your spirit that nothing can take away. That's why people who are unstoppable are not people who never get knocked down. They are people who refuse to stay down because their mindset lifts them back up. One of the most powerful things you can do in the morning is speak life over yourself. Before you touch your phone, before you check the emails, pause and speak words that build you. Say to yourself, "I am strong. I am capable. I am blessed. I am favored. I am unstoppable." You might not feel that way at first. You might still feel tired or stressed. But when you speak it, you are planting seeds of truth in your heart. And if you keep watering those seeds every day, they will grow into unshakable confidence. Words have power. They shape your mindset, shapes your destiny. Think about it like this. If you want to change the direction of your day, you must first change the direction of your thoughts. If you want to step into joy, you must think joy. If you want to live with peace, you must think peace. If you want to live unstoppable, you must think unstoppable. That doesn't happen by accident. It's a daily choice, a daily discipline. Just like you wouldn't leave your house without putting on clothes, Don't leave your house without putting on the right mindset. Even on the toughest mornings when life feels heavy, remind yourself of the truth. Remind yourself that you have overcome before and you will overcome again. Remind yourself that every obstacle is temporary. Remind yourself that you are equipped for what's ahead. That habit of starting your day with the right mindset will carry you further than talent, further than resources, further than connections. What? Because the right mindset keeps you in the fight when everything else says give up. Over time, as you build this habit, you'll notice a change. The things that used to discourage you won't have the same power anymore. The situations that used to overwhelm you won't shake you like they once did. You'll begin to walk with a quiet confidence, not because life suddenly became easy, but because your perspective became stronger. And people around you will notice it too. They'll wonder how you stay calm in stressful situations, how you keep smiling when things aren't perfect, how you keep moving forward when others stop. It's because you started every day by anchoring yourself in the right mindset. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm clock rings, don't just stumble out of bed and drag yesterday's troubles into today. Pause, take a deep breath, and choose to set the direction of your thoughts. Choose gratitude, choose strength. Say to yourself, I am ready, I am capable, I am unstoppable. And then carry that mindset with you into everything you do. If you make this a daily practice, you won't just survive life's challenges, you'll rise above them. You'll face your future with confidence. You'll discover that nothing and no one can stop a person who starts every day with the right mindset. But greatness is not built overnight. It's built day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. Many people think success comes from one big breakthrough, one major opportunity, or one dramatic moment that changes everything. But the truth is, the strongest, most unstoppable lives are built on the small, consistent disciplines practiced every single day. It's the little things you choose to do, the quiet decisions no one sees that create the foundation of your character and the momentum of your future. If you want to become unstoppable, you have to commit to being consistent with small disciplines. Think about it like a builder laying bricks. One brick on its own doesn't seem like much. It looks small, even insignificant. But brick by brick, over time, a strong, unshakable wall rises up. The same is true for your life. Reading a few pages of a book, spending 10 minutes in prayer or reflection, exercising even when you don't feel like it, choosing to forgive instead of holding a grudge, showing kindness when no one else is watching. These may look like small things. But every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are adding another brick to the wall of your strength. Eventually, those bricks create a fortress that cannot be shaken by storms. The challenge is that most people underestimate the power of small disciplines. They think it's just one day. Skipping this doesn't matter. No one will notice. But small choices compound over time. Just as small deposits in a savings account eventually build wealth, small disciplines in your daily life eventually build unstoppable strength. The flip side is true too. Small neglects, small compromises, small excuses also add up, and they slowly weaken your foundation. That's why it's so important to be intentional about your daily habits. What you consistently do, even in private, eventually shows up in public. Unstoppable people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions are inconsistent. Some mornings you'll feel like giving your best, other mornings you won't. If you only move when you're motivated, you'll always be inconsistent. Discipline is different. Discipline is a decision. Discipline says, well, I may not feel like it, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I know it builds me. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when the excitement fades. Every time you honor that discipline, you build trust with yourself. You prove to yourself that you can rely on your own word. And that self-trust becomes the foundation of unstoppable confidence. For example, imagine you decide to exercise for just 20 minutes a day. At first, it doesn't look like much is happening. You may not see instant results. But stay consistent. And over weeks and months, your body grows stronger, your energy increases, and your confidence rises. Or think about the discipline of gratitude. Writing down 3 things you're thankful for every morning may feel small. But day after day, that discipline shifts your perspective, trains your eyes to see blessings instead of problems, and fills your heart with joy. Over time, that joy makes you resilient. You don't crumble when difficulties come because you've trained yourself to see good even in the struggle. Consistency with small disciplines also teaches you patience. In our world of instant gratification, many people give up too quickly. They want overnight success, immediate breakthroughs, instant results. But true strength is built slowly. It's developed over time, tested by challenges, and proven in perseverance. When you stay consistent with small disciplines, you learn to wait, you learn to trust the process, and you learn that growth is happening even when you can't see it. That patience makes you unstoppable because you don't quit just because progress feels slow. You know that every step, no matter how small, is carrying you forward. Another important truth is that small disciplines build momentum. Momentum is what keeps you moving when motivation isn't there. It's like riding a bicycle. At first, it's hard to push the pedals. You feel the weight of resistance. But as you keep pedaling, the bicycle picks up speed. And soon it becomes easier to keep moving than it is to stop. That's what consistency does in your life. At first, building a habit may feel difficult. But as you keep showing up day after day, momentum builds. And suddenly the discipline becomes second nature. That's when you realize you're not struggling to start anymore. You're being carried by the power of your own momentum. There will always be temptations to break your disciplines. Life will try to convince you that skipping doesn't matter, that compromise is harmless, that you can always start again tomorrow. But remember, every time you compromise, you weaken your foundation, and every time you honor your discipline, you strengthen it. Becoming unstoppable isn't about perfection. Even if you slip, get back up and keep building. Don't let one bad day turn into a bad week, and don't let a bad week turn into a bad season. Reset quickly, recommit to your discipline, and keep moving forward. Consistency with small disciplines also inspires others. People may not notice the choices you make behind the scenes, but over time, the results will show. They'll see your strength, your calmness, your growth, your resilience, and they'll wonder how you became that way. Your life will become a testimony of what happens when someone commits to small daily disciplines. Without preaching a word, you'll be showing others the power of faithfulness, patience, and consistency. And in inspiring others, your own sense of purpose grows even stronger. What's beautiful is that you don't have to start with something huge. You don't have to overhaul your whole life in one day. Just start small. Choose one discipline that will strengthen you and commit to it daily. It might be reading 10 minutes of something uplifting, practicing gratitude, exercising, journaling, meditating, or spending quiet time in reflection. Don't underestimate the impact of those small steps. Over time, they compound into unstoppable strength. So when you think about becoming unstoppable, don't just focus on the big dreams or the big breakthroughs. Focus on the small daily disciplines that prepare you for those breakthroughs. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are declaring, I'm building something greater than how I feel in this moment. I'm building a life that can't be shaken. And as you stay consistent, one day you'll look back and realize that those small daily choices became the very thing that made you unstoppable. Because the truth is, unstoppable people are not born that way, they are built. They are built through the daily choices no one sees, the private battles no one knows about, the quiet disciplines that look small but carry great power. And if you'll stay consistent, if you'll commit to those disciplines, you will rise higher, stand stronger, and discover that nothing can stop a life built on the foundation of small daily habits.